A single cardboard box is wedged between two high-speed rollers. The conveyor belt continues to slide beneath it, creating a quiet, rhythmic friction. A mile of machinery behind it begins to slow down. Most systems are built to prioritize flow over storage. When objects are moving, the system looks healthy. Movement is often mistaken for progress and stability. Warehouses are becoming smaller relative to the volume they process. Modern logistics relies on the road being the actual warehouse. Goods are only static when they are failing. This is called just-in-time delivery. It is a mathematical ideal that removes the cost of holding inventory. Efficiency is maximized by removing all physical margin. When space is removed, the system becomes fragile. Every part of the chain must work perfectly for the whole to function. There is no room for error. We treat the absence of friction as a permanent state. We forget that movement requires constant energy and coordination. The system hides its own complexity. Storing materials is now viewed as an unnecessary liability. Capital that is not moving is considered loss. The only healthy state for value is transit. This creates a hidden rule of lean operations. If you cannot see the buffer, you assume you do not need it. Efficiency slowly removes the safety net. When a delivery is 10 minutes late, a factory line stalls. The system has no physical space to absorb the delay. One small pause creates a ripple effect. Over time, the lack of storage becomes a structural requirement. The system can no longer handle a pause. It is locked into a cycle of speed. Every saved minute increases the cost of a single mistake. As the margin disappears, the system becomes a high-stakes performance. It works until it doesn't. We see the trucks and the ships, but we don't see the fragility. We assume the flow is a sign of strength. It is actually a sign of desperation. When we optimize for speed, we often lose the ability to recover from shock. The system is brittle behind its grace. It lacks internal resilience. The system is now too fast to be observed by its creators. It operates on a timescale that humans cannot interact with. We are just passengers. Reliability is often just a lack of recent testing. Because nothing has failed lately, we assume nothing can fail. We stop preparing for shocks. The logistics hub looks quieter now. The open bays have not changed. The silence suggests a system that is perfectly balanced or stuck. We are optimizing the logic of our physical world. Every square foot of unused space is viewed as a waste. Efficiency is the new constraint. The pressure to reduce costs creates a feedback loop. Lower costs lead to more demand. More demand requires even more speed. The loop tightens. When a system reaches its peak speed, it looks immobile. The motion is so constant, it becomes a texture. We stop seeing the moving parts. This logic doesn't stop at factories. It applies to our schedules and our energy grids. We are all living just in time now. Inventory is a form of insurance. When we remove it, we are effectively canceling the policy. We hope the disaster never comes to collect. Small delays accumulate quietly at first. They are absorbed by the remaining slack, but the slack is being engineered out of the system. Eventually, a threshold is crossed. The hidden friction becomes a visible failure. The chain breaks at its most efficient link. The logistics hub remains a monument to flow. The concrete is stained by thousands of tires that never stop for long. We have created a world where everything is always on the way. Nothing is truly here. We live in the gaps between destinations. In a system without margin, time is the only currency. Every second saved is a profit. Every second lost is a potential collapse. Redundancy is expensive. In a competitive market, expensive things are removed first. We choose efficiency because we have to. Every system that looks stable is actually in a state of controlled falling. It only works if the forward momentum is maintained. We assume the supply chain is a solid structure. It is actually a series of high-speed collisions that we have learned to manage. Complexity is a debt we pay with constant maintenance. When the maintenance stops, the complexity becomes a weapon. The system turns against itself. A single sensor fails in a cooling plant. The system tries to compensate by increasing the load on another part. The failure spreads. The logistics hub is now under artificial light. The bays are still waiting. The rhythm of the world is a hum you can't hear. We have traded resilience for throughput. We are more productive than ever, but we are also more vulnerable. The trade is final. The system does not care about the purpose of the objects. It only cares about the speed of their movement. Speed is the only metric. Fragility is a silent cost that accrues over time. It doesn't appear on a balance sheet until the system stops moving. These patterns repeat across many systems over time. You can subscribe to explore the hidden structures that shape our world. We see the system together. The illusion of stability is maintained by the absence of interference. As long as the environment is predictable, the system is safe. But the world is not predictable. Weather, politics, and human error are outside the system's logic. They are the noise that breaks the signal. When the noise becomes too loud, the system vibrates. It tries to hold its shape through sheer speed, but speed only increases the force of the impact. The logistics hub has become a ghost of itself. It is still functioning perfectly, yet it feels completely empty. The system is alone. We have built a world that cannot stop. Stopping is now a failure mode, not a choice. We are trapped in the momentum we created. Efficiency is a journey with no destination. There is always more slack to remove. There is always more margin to eliminate. The end is zero. Every system eventually discovers its own limit. For just-in-time delivery, the limit is the speed of light and the size of an atom. One more box is added to the line. One more second is saved. The system reaches its final state of perfect brittle efficiency. The logistics hub is now completely dark. The system has reached its most efficient state. It is perfectly empty and perfectly silent.